Get your live music fix with the best of Pearl Jam tribute music. Washed in Black will be performing for one night only, 7 p.m. on August 27th at the Federal Way Performing Arts Center. Experience a tribute to one of the most prolific bands of our time with Seattle's own Washed in Black as they celebrate the 30-year anniversary of the release of 10. Get tickets at fwpaec.org. Thank you to our sponsor, Becker Retirement Group.
Recent events have reminded us that escaping to the outdoors can be quite rewarding. Exploring open space is good for the old soul. Hi there, I'm Gregor. Kick back, stare up at the clouds, and dig into the recesses of your imagination. Oh, that one looks like a brachiosaurus. Now reward your flights of fancy with an out-of-body experience, a bold, balanced Space Dust IPA from Elysian. That'll have your taste receptors running wild.
Space Dust.
Elysian Brewing, Seattle, Washington. Explore and enjoy responsibly.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve Thrill-Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And before we get there, I should point out this particular shot of the day brought to us by our very own Robin Fox. And keep in mind, her name is Robin, so she knows everything about every other bird. That's a true thing.
And fox.
And foxes and birds. She knows everything about it. And today, we toast 5 parrots from Lincolnshire Wildlife Park in Lincolnshire, England. Now, the Wildlife Park, it's already home to over 1,500 parrots. So when they had the opportunity to adopt 5 more, they figured, what better place? Well, they got the birds about 6 weeks ago, but I don't know if it's for COVID reasons or whatever. The birds had to quarantine together for a few weeks before they could be put on public display. Well, the day came. They're finally ready to be publicly seen. And within 20 minutes, park employees were informed that the new parents had sworn at a customer. And then, 5 minutes after that, these parents hurled obscenities at a group of people. They even insulted a woman's weight. And once these parrots start cursing, apparently they don't stop. The way it's described is this. One parrot will swear, right? Drop an F-bomb. The other parrots mimic laughing. But that encourages the next parrot to swear. And then they all respond by laughing. And they hot potato cursing. And what they do, so F-bomb, ha, 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 S-bomb, ha, ha. This goes on and on. Understand, they don't stop once they start. Now, the people that worked at the Wildlife Refuge, they knew that these parrots had a proclivity to curse. They just didn't think they would curse this much for this long. They have now been taken off of the public display. They will be put back out for the public, but these particular 5 parrots can't be together. However, they do offer up the fact that they recognize that even though they're going to put them in separate areas so they don't encourage each other, there's a very good chance that they're going to teach the other parents around them to swear. Mm-hmm. So start with 5. And I mean, think about it. You walk in.
I think this is a crime.
Look at the parrot.
They should be able to stay together. Look, if they just want to make it like a poker game, that's fine.
Well, that's what they described it. They said it sounds like an old men's club. They just cuss and laugh and cuss and laugh. They think it's funny, but they understood they had to take it out.
Did they know each other before they put them together in the cage?
I don't think so. The way the story reads, it just happened that these 5 parrots became available. They weren't like a package deal, but they put them in a little quarantine, and whichever one knew how to cuss basically taught the other ones how to cuss, and then they responded with the fake laughter, and then that becomes their cue to keep going, and they won't stop. So everybody that came in and checked these things out, they're getting cussed at, you're getting insulted.
I'm paying more.
I would drop.
If they double the cost of the ticket to get in there, I'm paying. I'm going to go, and I'm only going to go, and then I'll check out everything else after the fact.
I don't care
I'm
about
beelining it to these guys.
Well, they said a lot of people have shown interest in coming to see the parrots. The problem is they got to figure out a way where this is a wildlife park.
Maybe no kids allowed.
That's what they're trying to figure out. We need. Again, the wildlife employees are not against the idea of the parrots cussing. They said, look, it's very funny to us. Most of the customers found it funny, but customers that had children did not find it so funny.
If you had an all ages exhibit, like maybe the monkey is masturbating, maybe the parrots are cussing at you. You know what I mean? Like at the time, you just make it a call. Like, is this 18 and over, or is this 18 and under? You know what I mean? You can either get in or you can't, depending on the feistiness of the animal.
Or make it something where they You could go to the Woodland Park Zoo, and these 5 parrots you've heard about are there. You got 1 month to see them. Here they are. They're going to berate and insult you. Then they go to the San Diego Zoo, whatever.
It's like the independent video store. They had a curtain, and there was a little room in the back.
You knew what was going on.
Kids aren't walking in there.
Mommy, where's that man going?
Yeah.
Well, let's drink. We pour this booze.
That's your neighbor.
And we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bichola!
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can. Everyone's bitching to me to clear my throat. Look, man, I'm doing the best I can. This is as good as it gets.
You want a refund?
Yeah, we will give you your money back for the cost of the show. We
Just
do
email
apologize. It's a simple game, Miles, where we share with you a real-life news story.
It's like, come on, DJ Cool.
I know. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Derek. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola.
Dirk?
All right, Dirk, you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. Then you know you have a choice of 1 of 3 stories. The Wonderful World of Drugs, Bite Me, in other words, what did someone find in their food, or finally, Interior Decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up inside of someone.
I know interior decoration is popular, but let's go with drugs.
Drugs it is.
I feel like you flipped it. It's always drugs.
It has. I think people get nervous or unsettled with interior decorating.
All right.
I don't.
When there's something like there's an eel and someone's rectum, I understand.
I mean, I'm clinching. I was just looking for...
But you do that anyway. All right, there, Derek. Here is your story. The story involves 20-year-old Christopher Laura. She was charged with aggravated robbery and possession of drugs after a man called police and told them that a man with face tattoos had mugged him at knife point. Side note, if you have face tattoos, don't commit a crime. You're real easy to spot. Just throwing that out there. Now, Nashville police, they responded to the aggravated robbery. An officer made contact with a man named Muhammad Malik, who stated that he was out for a walk when he heard Christopher Laura yell at him, asking him if he, quote, wanted to buy something. Told the police to continue walking, but Laura approached him from behind with a black knife in his hand and demanded his cell phone. Well, Malik proceeded to hand over his cell phone. Then Laura told him, do not turn around, because he didn't want this guy to see his direction of flight. And the guy complied until he heard him running away. So naturally, he turned around and saw Laura fleeing in the opposite direction. Well, the guy runs home, calls the police. He described Laura to be a man with a star tattoo under his left eye and various other face tattoos. Blah, 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 blah. Long story short, they find the guy. It is confirmed. And they search him, and they find Malik's cell phone, 2 knives, and a bag containing drugs. The question is, what kind of drugs was our friend carrying around with him? Was it cocaine, crack, Xanax, or meth?
Boy, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Because he didn't rob somebody at a bachelorette party.
I would eliminate cocaine.
I was thinking cocaine too, but Nashville, Tennessee, that sounds
No, I said I would eliminate it based on cost point.
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking.
No, if
Nashville, Tennessee, it's got to be meth or
if
crack
it's
or
Manhattan, I say cocaine.
Right.
If it's Miami, I say cocaine. But
Yeah, but generally, if you're committing a crime and you have coke on you, it's something stupid. Like, I'm with you. It doesn't seem like the guy who's going to rob somebody in the street has cocaine on him already. Now, might he have crack? Sure.
would he have meth? Maybe.
I'm going to go with, I think crack is definitely the winner.
Derek, you're going to stick with crack as the final answer?
Final answer, 100%.
Okay, Ted?
I'm torn between meth and crack. Xanax is very popular these days. Did you say he was wearing a shirt or no shirt?
He was wearing a shirt, guys.
But face tattoos.
Yeah. Several face tattoos. Because that way no one will recognize you.
Sorry, I'm going to go meth.
Yeah, I'm going to join Ted on this one. Ted always goes meth and wins. All right, Derek,
I think the DARE program said that one.
In the game of life.
I am following Ted's coattails on this one because I don't want to be a loser anymore. We're going to find out if this guy had cocaine, crack, Xanax, or meth next.
That was a tease.
Get your live music fix with the best of Pearl Jam tribute music. Washed in Black will be performing for one night only, 7 p.m. on August 27th at the Federal Way Performing Arts Center. Experience a tribute to one of the most prolific bands of our time with Seattle's own Washed in Black as they celebrate the 30-year anniversary of the release of 10. Get tickets at fwpaec.org. Thank you to our sponsor, Becker Retirement Group.
Got a hankering for a sessionable hazy IPA? Elysian Brewing's Contact Haze is just the brew for you. Order Contact Haze and your other favorite Elysian brews like Space Dust from ElysianBrewing.com today for free delivery. ElysianBrewing.com. Must be 21. Please enjoy responsibly.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
We go to Nashville, Tennessee. A guy was charged with the robbery, possession of drugs in Nashville. Man said something he heard somebody yelling at him, saying he wanted to sell him something.
Yeah, you want to buy something from him.
Guy had drugs. Was it cocaine, crack, Xanax, or methamphetamine?
And that's the very question that we posed to Derek. Derek came up with crack. Oh, sorry. Now, Miles, you said, you know what? Ted is a winner with meth. I don't want to lose. I'm going to go with Ted. I'm going meth.
No! Wow.
Believe it or not, Xannies.
Was the Xannies?
And it's
God,
funny.
Those are getting popular.
Somebody texted in and said, face tattoos tell me Xanax.
I'll be damned.
And I said, I don't get the connection, but you're right.
Okay.
There you go.
Interesting.
If you see a guy with a face tattoo and you want Xanax, ask him.
It's like the guy, white guy with dreadlocks.
Yeah, ask him.
You know what?
What?
I just see myself getting punched by a guy with a face tattoo. Hey, man, you got any Xanax?
Boom. You got face tattoos.
Now for all TV news all the time, it's time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, Armageddon. The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today, Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Mr. Fallon.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Ooh, Kimmel.
Mr. Kimmel.
You know what? He's back. I might just go back to calling him the Jimmies. Conan.
Conan O'Brien.
Seth Meyers.
Ooh, we have quite the selection.
Or Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
That's right, all these guys have teams of professional writers come over their monologues each and every night. It's up to you to determine, is this an actual late-night joke? And from whom? Or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
Kraft has announced it'll begin selling a limited edition pumpkin mac and cheese. Look for it at the checkout line at TJ Maxx in April.
Seth Meyers.
Yes, Conan.
It's Seth.
All right, welcome back to Eyewitness News.
No.
No.
Hang
on. I'll figure it out.
Terrible.
I'll figure it out.
06.
Hang on, I got this. Hang on. We get
Like butter. Smooth.
We are a professional radio broadcasting unit.
All right, ready for this? Here we go. And
No, let him wait a little bit longer. Please
hang on,
increase
hang on.
TSL.
Wait.
here we go.
We just passed a quarter hour.
Kraft has announced it'll begin selling a limited edition pumpkin spice mac and cheese. Look for it in the checkout line at TJ Maxx in April.
That's a good one.
Eccentric Bitcoin billionaire Brock Pierce. He's 39 years old. He's not your typical presidential candidate, as he was also the 10-year-old Gordon Bombay in the Mighty Ducks films. I'm not saying he's a bad candidate, but his character did miss a penalty shot. So, your call.
The attention.
Yeah, that was me. Okay. I mean, the guy made a bunch of money, but that was the whole reason.
Right.
Don't forget, Coach Bombay was, driving a limo on ice. He didn't care about children. Japan Airlines is bringing in a small but significant change to passenger announcements. The airline says it's going to replace the phrase "ladies and gentlemen" because most of the passengers are now small dogs with red vests.
Seth Meyers.
Kimmel.
Ted Smith.
Ted Smith.
After a surge of coronavirus cases at the University of Colorado, health officials have banned 18 to 22-year-olds from gathering in groups of any size for 2 weeks. It's especially hard for that one friend who never pays for weed. What am I going to do? Just get it yourself, Colton.
That's definitely Jimmy Fallon.
Seth Meyers.
Your confidence, but government is wrong. That's Seth Meyers.
After a surge of coronavirus cases at the University of Colorado, health officials in Boulder have banned 18 to 22-year-olds from gathering in groups of any size for 2 weeks. It's been especially hard for that one friend who never pays for weed. But what am I going to do? Just buy it yourself, Colton.
It's also funny is it's Colorado. It's a rec state.
Yeah.
You can buy it wherever you want.
Right.
That's
Colton.
Hunter. Jordan.
Pilot.
Other weird names. Guys.
90210 guys.
Yeah, basically.
Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously people are still fired up about Tiger King.
Yep.
The good news is if you're a Carol Baskins fan, which I think that's the one thing about Tiger King we all agree about. Like we understand now that the Tiger King himself, I can't remember his name now.
Joe
Exotic.
Joe Exotic.
Like we're all like, all right, he's a weirdo and a scumbag. Like the whole, you know what I mean? But
I don't think anyone watched that documentary and said, I really like Carol Baskin.
No.
But that's what I'm saying. But I think at the beginning when you saw it, you didn't automatically hate Joe Exotic. Now you fast forward a couple weeks after it's out, you're learning all this other stuff, and everybody's like, oh yeah, he sucks. But everybody kind of agreed that like Carol Baskin's terrible.
It's like you're wearing eyeliner.
But she's still doing fine for herself.
Well, not anymore. She got eliminated from Dancing with the Stars.
Good. The fact that she made it that far.
Right, so it's kind of crazy here is that the only thing shocking is she wasn't the first person eliminated. That was Charles Oakley.
How do you think he feels?
Charles Oakley?
Yeah, knowing that now.
He gives 2 S's.
Okay.
Charles Oakley is never a man to be messed with. Ask Dolans, the guy that owns the New York Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously.
I just can't believe
him and Spike Lee are going to beat his ass.
Yeah. Charles Oakley's a bad man. He was a bad man when he played in the NBA. He's beloved in New York basically for being like, Charles Oakley was never going to just be like, holy cow, look at the points and this and that. Now, if you wanted a guy on the floor who controlled it and set a tone,
right,
that was Oak. I saw him once play in D.C. He was signing autographs during the game. He was on the bench, but everybody just loved him. I swear to God, Charles Oakley's just one of those dudes. So obviously, right, like he was like he must have been really bad. I listened to some of it, and like the one guy Bruno, who's like the judge that kind of goes a little harsher on people.
Sure.
He was like you don't even move your shoulders. Like you're like, what are you doing? Like that's not dancing. You're just walking.
It's probably like, hey, can you shoot hoops?
Either way, I thought it was kind of funny. I saw on TMZ there was a video of a couple of the people that used to work at the zoo, and she gets eliminated, and they're having a drink and just high-fiving. And I was like, yeah, well, that's fair. Remember the first week, her family ran an ad, or her first husband's family ran an ad to be like, basically, like, she did this.
I just can't believe Dancing with the Stars. It's a Disney-owned company. Like, you had her on your show.
Yeah, but Dancing with the Stars has done this. They don't care.
I know.
No, it's the Spaceman. Like, it doesn't matter if you polarize one way or the other. That's why they pick you.
Right.
You know, because some people are going to like you, some people are going to hate you based on who you are. That's the whole idea. If it was a bunch of fan-friendly people, like, I want them all to win. But, you know.
And also, even when Dancing with the Stars started...
I thought you were going to say that
yeah, right.
It's like, oh, no, in his pants?
I'd watch that.
But even when it started, like we used to always joke, these aren't the biggest stars. Well, now it's been going for so long. They get what they can get. Carol said after the victory, or after she got lost.
Cool cats. I got booted up Dancing with the Stars.
My husband's going to be so happy to see that I'm coming home.
No, he is not. Yeah. That man is weeping in a corner and he's terrified.
He's been terrified the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Hey, cool cats.
I wonder why.
Don't worry, I got voted off. I'm going to feed the judges to my tigers.
You know what? I'm not even going to read that one. Nobody cares.
Okay.
Erin Andrews, sticking with Dance with Stars. She said she felt like a loser when they ditched her. Erin,
I don't think anyone's missing you on the show right now. And no offense, like it's probably time to move on from that because no one brings up Tyra Banks.
No, they have. They said she sucks, which is amazing.
Okay.
Because you're the least important part of the show.
Right. I was just going to say Aaron Andrews is like still massive in the sports world and everything else. Like, I think, I'm not.
As far as branching out maybe into the entertainment world and kind of getting away from that, I can understand that.
Right. Well, that's what a lot of sports people do.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, there's guys now, I can't think of their names. There's one guy that's on Entertainment Tonight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
There's one guy that hosts like ABC Good Morning America.
Right, Strahan.
And,
right, but I'm saying,
shows.
but he was he was already on that.
Sure.
Right. Like, I forget the guy's name, but he's one of the hosts of Entertainment Tonight, and he was a Sports Center anchor. And then finally, like, he was one of the first ones I remember really consciously being like, I'm going to switch over from sports into entertainment and actually, like, make the career just that, not kind of going back and forth.
Oddly enough, Seattle's own Carissa Thompson, right? Other than doing car dealership commercials, she, I was going to say, like 3 years in a row, one of the hosts on Entertainment Tonight, and then decided, I just want to stick with sports.
Yeah.
Right? The exact opposite. Just like, that's too much nonsense.
Yeah, and it's funny, like, people, we talk about it all the time with Tom Hanks and stuff, but, yeah, look, Sports Center, specifically back in the day, did a good job of kind of bringing in pop culture and everything.
Absolutely.
To the sports thing, and it became more than just X's and O's. But, like, Aaron, like, I respect it for going over there, but also, I just like college football enough. For Aaron Andrews, I'm not going to feel too bad.
It's like, you're fine. You're absolutely fine. And the host, again, on shows like that, you're the least important part. Yeah, I feel like they spend a whole lot of cash. Someone like Tyra Banks, I don't know what she gets paid, but she's not cheap because she's Tyra Banks. But, like, nobody cares that you're there. People that watch that show just want to see the dancing,
Right, and also, like, they're not looking for us.
No, right, that's
like,
a good
there's
point.
a whole group of people. Like, look, I never watched The Masked Singer till Victor Oladipo, who's a DeMatha grad. I was like, oh, Victor's in the costume?
I think the guy from America's Funniest Home Videos is more crushed. Like
Tom Bergeron?
Yeah, his statement was just gut-wrenching. Like, I gave it my all. I did everything, and they just let me go.
But that's his bread and butter, man. That is what that dude does.
Right, he can't go back to being, like, the premier sideline reporter in college football. All right, do you guys think you're smarter than a fifth grader?
I hope so.
No.
All right, so there was the show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, right now, 2,000 parents were asked what grade they think they could be placed in for math and science if they had to go back to school. The average answer was sixth. So most of them think they're smarter than a fifth grader. Now, I would also say this, for a lot of people teaching these subjects, like, I remember that show. There wasn't like everybody on that show was an idiot.
No.
It was just like, there's just simple arithmetic and certain theories, and I shouldn't say theories. Science has absolutes, right?
Sure.
But, like, that's hard to pull that stuff.
Ted, I couldn't help my kids with homework. A lot of the times. I know. I'm saying it factually. From what I could retain, that was not the age where I retained a lot of good stuff.
I think I could hit. I'll go senior year with science, math at third grade.
But they don't ask math on Teen Jeopardy, and I still struggle on that. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't think that.
I crush on
you have
Teen
to
Jeopardy.
be doing that every day. You really, like anything else in life, you have to have, like, day-to-day experience with it. If not, you don't retain a lot of it.
Right. And if you do, like, if it's history, I'm fine.
Right.
Right. But also, the problem is when you get to fifth grade history, like, they don't want to just know that you know what battle was in which war or how this happened. You need to know the exact date that the
date.
Right. That whatever was signed.
Significance and everything else.
Yeah.
Where I just know that I'm not going to make a return trip to Home Depot because I've already made this mistake once before. So I'll try to correct that problem the first time I buy stuff.
Right.
This article came out talking about how the NFL is losing a lot of money without having people in the stands.
Well, of course.
It is, but it's also this is what the problem with some of these sports leagues is that they're billion-dollar industries.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like at the end of the day, like the NFL wants you there, but like that's not where they're making the most. So the numbers look massive, but it's like again, they'll be.
It's like when I say Jeff Bezos lost X amount of dollars. They're like, okay, dude's worth $200 billion. Right. So if he lost $50 million, well, it's a lot to normal people. Mm-hmm. That's like if I dropped $1 somewhere on the street and I can't find it.
It's not a lot to an NFL owner. They can take that hit.
Right.
And with a collective bargaining agreement, I mean, merchandising and everything else is still split.
Plus, it's also tough. Like, the last few years, you know what I mean? Like, you could afford high-quality TVs. You know what I mean? Like, houses, good foods and stuff still cost a lot of money. But a lot of stuff, like TVs and everything, have gotten so much cheaper over the years.
And the quality significantly better.
Right. I mean, like, outside of being a diehard fan or wanting to show somebody in your family, for a lot of people, like going to the game is just not a great experience.
It's not compared to sitting at home and being able to watch the replay and all that stuff, going to the bathroom real quick, not dropping another couple of $100
right,
on
exactly.
food,
not
beer.
spending hundreds of dollars. Like really, right? You take two kids. Like
I'm going.
You can't take two kids to an NFL football game.
I mean, I did last year, and I felt it, man. I mean, I had to be cognizant that we were doing this, and you make decisions about what you're not going to buy.
You could be at Disney all day on that price ticket.
Yeah, honestly.
And we say, man, wait till your kids get old enough to appreciate it.
But the other difference, too, is Disney, you have to go there. It's not something that hundreds of millions of people enjoy watching other people at Disney. So the NFL, it's like there's 32 teams, only 30 cities have it, right? Mm-hmm. So people that live, say, in Boise, Idaho, football's massive there. They don't go to football games. They don't go to football games in St. Louis. They're not going, you know what I mean? There's all the Austin, Texas, none of these places.
Louisville, Lexington,
you're fine with just
Portland,
TV.
Oregon.
Right. And that's
Sacramento.
The other thing, too, is like when Forbes put out this list, they're like, well, it's things like tickets, concessions, sponsors, parking, merchandise. Like,
come on.
Like, again,
it's a very small percentage of the pie, right?
Right, and that's what they were never making their money off that. They make it off TV contracts.
Right.
There's a reason the NFL is one of the only sports leagues that's on every major network.
And remember, the NCAA just started, for the most part, within the last decade, serving alcohol at games, which is your real moneymaker. So all their money was made off TV contracts. You can't make that money off hot dogs and popcorn when you're not selling beer. You're selling, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Also, I know a lot of people in Seattle specifically are Washington fans and hate Oregon, but shout out to Phil Knight. As it wasn't for that rich guy getting annoyed that he couldn't have a beer at a game.
Yeah, that's
nobody
true.
having a beer at a game for NCAA.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
The best defense is a good offense. So before the sewer backs up into your home and wreaks havoc, stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical is there for you when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net. Make contact. A collective psychosis is sweeping the nation. We're in the thick of the haze craze, and Elysian is introducing an altered state of IPA. Contact Haze is a tangled chemistry of mild haze, low bitterness, and an explosion of hop aroma. This hazy IPA bursts with notes of bright raspberry, currant, citrus, guava, and passion fruit. Available in 6-pack cans in stores and in all Seattle Elysian locations. Make contact.
Be 21. Please enjoy responsibly.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. Rocket blast off to the space station with cosmetics and a $23 million crapper. Meanwhile, a man hires a prostitute, and who shows up? His best friend's mom and her snapper. Florida man arrested after assaulting girlfriend with a pizza slice. Meanwhile, 2 Florida men beat up man and steal his prosthetic leg, and that's not nice. And a mayor with COVID-19 elected to his 3rd term, even though he's dead. It's time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my call.
Our top story. We go to the UK, where an army man made an embarrassing order online. The man traveled all about the world serving in the military, and it took a toll on his sex life. Finding the remedy and buying escorts online, the man decided to continue the practice after he got home. Liking the more mature look in a woman, he was on the site that only showed the body of the escorts and not the face. So you can understand the shock when he ordered one and found out that it was his best friend's mother stepped out of the car.
Yeah.
Apparently, while they were both shocked, she took control of the situation and treated him as any other client. After their session was done and over with, they both made a pact to keep the encounter a secret.
And that's why we're hearing about it.
Right, why do we know about this?
Why do I know this?
And then they hooked up multiple more times.
That's exactly what I'm thinking.
No, they did. It's in the article.
Yeah, he said, I already had found her attractive. It's, my best friend's mom sort of a thing. Then all of a sudden she shows up.
Did you read the biggest problem with this that he has?
That his friend uses the same service that he did?
Correct.
And so there's a good chance
that.
Here's the thing: it shows the body, which means he has probably seen his mother's goods already. If he's into something similar,
but he doesn't know.
He said that his buddy's mom was not ugly to begin with.
Right.
So that's why they've continued this.
Dude, I found this hot chick. I'm telling you, dude, don't do it.
Thing is, she's in a certain 4-letter word category. So as long as his buddy's not into that, should be okay.
He's into that.
Yeah, probably.
We don't know if she has tattoos or anything distinguishing.
No, because, well, you know what? I suppose there's only so much that you see as a friend, so.
I'm going to say no, only because the son would be like, man, there's this chick. who has the exact same, like,
dragon
tattoo as my mom.
In other news, we go to Florida where...
Jesus.
I know.
And they need to adjust one word in that story. Former.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Oh, yes. The older I get, the less I care. You want a what? Game on.
We go to Florida where a man was arrested for a nasty encounter with his wife. The pair were in their home when the man's wife took it upon herself to take out the trash. Upset that she was taking out a pizza box with the rest of the trash, the man ordered his wife not to take the things outside. Not knowing that there was still pizza in the box, the woman decided to toss it back into the home, causing some pieces to scatter. This prompted the man to pick up one of the errant pieces and slap his wife across the face and chest with it. After police were called, the man admitted to getting too angry, but denies it getting physical despite his inability to explain how she was covered in pizza sauce.
It wasn't me.
Pizza the Hut.
Just come on, man.
Right.
She's cleaning up the place, really?
Yeah.
Way to go.
I think the worst one would be a hot pizza roll. Because the cheese, when it comes out, it explodes.
Right, only if it explodes. You got to hurl that thing
it's
for that
been
to happen.
sitting out. You know what I mean? It's cold pizza.
Okay, look. We brought this up. Well, a caller brought it up yesterday. I'm going to hit you with a piece of food. It can be a hot pizza roll or was it an orange? Yeah, he got hit in the neck with an orange.
I'll take the hot pizza roll.
You're taking an orange?
Taking orange.
I'm taking a pizza roll.
Yeah. Honestly, there's less of a chance of that pizza roll exploding on you than that orange just wrecking your face.
I mean, these are the things we think about, ladies and
It
gentlemen.
gives me heartburn. So.
I think this sounds like an Instagram video. Miles, just stand there.
Not a bad call,
You're wing an orange at your head.
That or a pizza roll.
You're making a choice. Orange bowl, bitch.
Ted, I need pizza rolls, an air fryer, and an orange, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Here's a big hello from Donald Duck.
Sticking with Florida, 2 men have been arrested for strong arm robbery for taking something unusual from someone. The pair accused the victim of having stolen a backpack and decided to step in and confront him. What ensued was an all-out fight between the three that led to the victim being robbed of his prosthetic leg.
Damn.
The man fled the scene and alerted authorities, who arrested and charged the other two.
There was a, read this earlier today. Guy goes, he's dressed like a ninja, right?
All right.
So he's got the ninja outfit on, ties a red bandana around his head, and he tries to mug this woman. So in New York City, she's walking with a 3-year-old kid. The dude dressed as a ninja tries to steal her purse. He does not know that she is also a kickboxer.
Ooh!
Oh, yeah. So the ninja went down. Oh, yeah. Don't dress like a ninja if you're not a ninja.
Over in Romania, one village has shown their love of their mayor, maybe a little bit too much. The village recently had an election in which the winning candidate had just succeeded in winning his third term with an impressive 1,000 out of 1,600 votes. But there's just one problem. The incumbent candidate that won has recently died due to COVID-19. Constituents took it upon themselves to visit the grave and pay respects in light of his victory.
Sounds like a very distinguished gentleman.
Absolutely.
But you have not solved any problem.
It still goes to number 2, right?
No, so what they're actually going to do, they're going to hold a separate election.
Okay.
They're going to redo the entire thing because apparently...
Put living people on the ballot.
Yeah, right. He passed at a point that they said it was too far into the election to actually reset everything. You know, it's probably just way too much in the heat of it when he passed away, so it's...
Well, they had a lot of fraudulent mail-in votes from China.
Yeah, man.
So they got to redo the whole thing.
They got to redo it. Yeah. And the thing is that people were visiting his grave saying, "This is your victory. I know that you'd be proud of us." For electing a dude that's dead?
I don't think you'd be proud of you. You'd be like, what are you stupid?
Right, what are you
I'm
doing?
Dead.
We're leaderless.
This is my city. I'm trying to help you. I am dead. Why would you elect me?
He was a big proponent of wearing masks and all that stuff, too. He just got COVID from a relative who lived in his house.
I was just making a movie about a joke where I think it's Eddie Murphy, gets to win a political seat in Senate because he ran on the same name as the politician that had died.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Distinguished gentleman.
And with that, Mike Honka's out.
Oh, tomorrow, join us. We're going to have pumpkin lattes. Enjoy the fall. It's going to be very...
Yeah, 'tis the season.
Yeah, very, very white.
But in the meantime, we be all up out this bitch. So until next time, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
On Pod Save the World, we want to be your cheat sheet for global events. My name is Tommy Vitor, and each week, my co-host Ben Rhodes and I break down the biggest stories from around the world. Ben and I both worked on President Obama's national security staff, and we'll introduce you to the activists, politicians, and journalists who can help us understand what's going on around the world, what it means for the United States, and what it's like being inside the White House Situation Room during a crisis. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your pods.